Right, just another little rant, if you want to call it a rant. It's not really a rant. It's just, I'm just saying. We bought a loaf of bread, and I'm not gonna. I'll just give a flash of it there, but I'm not gonna put it on. But it has a sell-by date of, or a use-by date of 23rd at 2nd 2026. It's now the 29th, is it? Put these on, yeah, 29th at 3rd. There's not a spot of mould or out on that, and its use-by date is over a month. And the reason it's still okay to eat is because it's full of shite, full of absolute crap, full of chemical shit. And it says on here, our tasty bread stays fresher for longer, so it's always there for you when you need it. It's simple, we just combine our unique recipe with the clean packaging process, and ta-da, bread lasts longer. Wonderful. So it lasts ages. Bread's not supposed to do that. And if you could get bread to do that made in the old way, where there's like four ingredients or something like that, then great. But you're not going to be able to do that because it's not meant to. And this stuff that is lasting, I mean, it's over a month out of its sell-by date, and you could open that and eat that now. What that does to your gut is another thing. You know, it's like all the other things you've got. You know, your cereals and your tin foods and stuff like that. Go and have a look. Just go and have a look. What's in your food? And everybody's wondering why everybody's so sick. You know, diabetic, overweight, bowel problems, this, that, the other. And I'm obviously like, if anybody knows, I'm obviously like 95% carnivore, so these things don't really bother me. We bought this over a month ago for some stupid reason, you know, because I'm not going to say who, but there's some people who say, well, I don't want somebody eating a certain thing, and yet they'll give them ice creams, chocolates, and we've all heard story with chocolate with palm oil and stuff like that. I mean, it's things are already getting smaller and costing more, and then they're not even making them right. So it don't matter to me, because I don't really eat that stuff. If I do eat any bread, it's usually a little bit of sourdough, and it's very, very infrequent. And it's same with most stuff. I don't eat any cereals. Fruit, I don't. I had a few blueberries yesterday, but I don't eat fruit as a rule. Don't need it. Don't need fibre. Anybody can say, well, you have to eat fruit and you have to eat fibre. Why? Just find me the thing that says I need fruit and fibre, and then get back to me, and I'll give you what I know about needing fruit and fibre. I mean, eat fruits, it doesn't matter. I'm not one of them people who's going to tell anybody what they should eat. I'm just saying, look at this thing here. Now, you can hear it. I'm not going to put it on things. I don't want somebody going, well, it's a defamation thing. No. Look, the thing's full of crap. If you looked on the label, you'd see it's full of crap. and you're probably happy that it's going to last like, I mean, it's small. If you're going to have some bread, how long would that last? Why has it got to last a month? Out of date. Anyway, so they're not making it right. Things aren't made right. Not the proper way. So I don't care. I'm just highlighting this because there's people who say, well, I don't want people to eat that, but you'll give them a bag of Doritos. Have a look on a packet of Doritos. Look on a packet of, I don't know, what else can you buy? I'm going to stop buying these things, so I'm getting a bit rusty on these things. I don't know. Pringles. I love the taste of Pringles. I don't eat them anymore because they're full of crap. So this is not really, I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm just saying, if you're eating certain things, have a look in it. Have a look what's in the thing that you're eating. And if you can't pronounce something, or you've no idea what it is, or it's not actually a food, what you eating it for? But hey, listen, crack on. Just keep going. I mean, we all like the odd treat every now and then. I like a treat every now and then, but my treat now is not what it used to be. So I'd love somebody to go and do the test and look and see what the actual stuff is that you're eating, because it's all everything on. But I mean, this packet here has got healthy written all over it. Look how healthy that is. What? And it's same with everything else. All your cereals and that lot. Whoa, healthy, 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 healthy heart. Full of protein. Now. All carbs become sugar, and your body can make sugar on its own. If you only ate meat like me, it would still make its own sugar, your body, but it won't be making it out of the junk that's going into my body because I don't put it in anymore. So it'll be making natural sugars that, I'm not a scientist, but is it glucogenesis or something like that? Gluco, whatever. I've stopped looking at these things because I've reached a happy medium where I just eat natural food. It's mostly meat. And I've got and I do eat a few vegetables as well, but they're very limited. So I'm just saying is, you eat what you want to eat. I'm just saying, why don't you have a look at what you're eating? And it's same with a lot of vegetables. A lot of vegetables are absolutely packed with oxalates. Now there's low oxalate vegetables and high oxalate vegetables, but every time I look on these things to do a little bit of research, it's always spinach and kale, and they're very high in oxalates, and oxalates are damaging to your body. I didn't make it that way. I had this cancer thing, and it worked out that it were better for me to just drop all the carbs and the sugar. I'm not going to go into it, but if you believe that cancers feed on carbs and sugar, and carbs become sugar, and you believe that cancers feed on sugar and glucose, you want to drop as much of that as you possibly can. So I went that way. But I've got no against people eating vegetables and that lot, but there's a lot of things in vegetables that people are making smoothies out of spinach and kale and stuff like that. And basically you're taking all fibre out of it by making it into a smoothie, and then you're just getting all the oxalates and all the sugars and anything else that's in there, but you're not what you're getting. So if you believe you need fibre and you believe you need to eat loads of fruit, then crack on. And I'm not telling anybody what to eat. I'm just saying a lot of people are not well, but don't seem to be eating well to me. They're eating what I call bad food now. Understand? I think that food's bad. Not all vegetables are bad. Not all meats are good. But if you don't work out what's what, and you stick with whatever, if I just ate, I don't know, organ meats all week, my levels would be out at the ceiling. It wouldn't be good for me. Chicken's too lean. Not enough fat in it, because fat is the key. And people go, well, you can get fat out of, I don't know, I'm going to make some up here. You can get fat out of a choy bean from top of Himalayas. It's not the fat you need. It's, you know what I mean? It's, you need animal fats, but again, that's me. And whatever fat you think you can get, if you think it's going to work, but you do need fat. And fat don't make you fat. Fat makes you thin. What? Fat makes you thin? Yeah, fat makes you thin. When you get into like keto, once you start becoming fat adapted and you're eating mostly meats and fats, then you burn fat. When you eat a lot of carbs and sugar, you store fat. So when you were told that if you ate fat like butter and fat on meat and stuff like that, and it were going to make you fat, that's actually the wrong way around. It's the other things you eat that make you store fat. If you just ate the meat and the fat, you'd actually burn fat. But obviously somebody on here is going to go, well, that idiot's all wrong, you don't know what he's talking about. No, but I probably don't. I've just got a belief in my head, and I know that it worked for me. And obviously, I see a lot of these things on, like with people with cancers and that lot, and they're doing certain they're doing things that I hope they believe in them, but they're doing things that thingy, but they're just eating like normal. And the food is massively important for development and maintenance. So you need to make sure that you're eating and getting all the sustenance that you need, all the minerals and the vitamins and everything that you need. And they go, well, you eat only meat. Yeah, well, it's all in the meat. I add a little bit of salt to my water and to my meat. That's it. Next to no fruit, no fibre really. No cereals. No salads. Have a little bit of tomatoes and stuff with me, sardines and things like that. But I'm just saying it because it seems to be a lot of people that aren't well. And when I were getting told what I were getting told when I had the cancer issue, it was all the wrong way around. It was all upside down. So I did the exact opposite. So whatever you're being told now, check it all out. If you're not well, if you've got problems, and definitely open your cupboards and have a look at your food. Because people will be saying, well, yeah, it might be that food, but I've got this medication that helps me with that. What? It's all right because you can take some medication. Right, okay. But you might not have to take that medication if you fix that other thing with the food. Now, look, people are just people. I'm not really here to tell anybody what to do. I would love people who's got problems. If you haven't got any problems, skip past this, don't matter. It makes no difference to you at all. If you've got no problems, it makes no difference to you at all. If you've got some issues, go and look at your food. Because your food, it's like my car, my old car. It needs proper fuel. And I always say this to people, it needs proper fuel. Well, they're all proper fuels, aren't they? Well, no, mine's 99 octane. It's almost 100% fuel. And then you get the E10, which is like got stuff added to it. Now I can run my car on both of them things. When I run it on the 99 octane, it runs beautifully. It runs absolutely fine. And it's an old car, it's 30-year-old, and it runs beautifully. But if I put the new E10 fuel in it, with all the additives and the crap, it runs terrible. But it's all fuel, isn't it? And it's all food. So what's the difference? The difference is one is almost 100% pure fuel and the other's shit with all crap put in it. And I get more miles to gallon on the proper stuff, and I get less miles to gallon and worse running on the cheapest, is it cheap? Yeah, it's cheaper. On the cheaper stuff, the additive stuff, the stuff. So you can look at food like fuel. Because if you didn't eat, you're going to die. And if I don't put fuel in that car, it won't run. It's simple. Everything needs a fuel source. Your body needs a fuel source. Now, are you going to use E5 fuel or are you going to use E10 fuel? Because most people are running around on E10 fuel and I've got no idea why they feel shit and not running right. And it's simple. You're putting the wrong things in your body. All these extra chemicals and crap. I can't even read that list. That list is massive. I mean, you go on things and the lists are just massive. And the simple thing, I bought a tin of white button mushrooms, and I think I bought them to put in some kind of casserole or something like that I was going to make. And that's the bit I'm saying is I do eat vegetables. I'm not telling anybody to be carnivore or ketovore or whatever. I'm just saying I limit the things that aren't necessary and I do more of the things that are necessary. So everybody goes on about protein. Yeah, you can get protein out of all sorts of things, but it's not heme protein. It's not animal protein. And that's a big topic with some people, but you only absorb a tiny bit of that. I don't know, what can you say? Soy protein, like soy milk, almond. How do you get milk out of nuts? Anyway, look, it's all processed stuff. But one thing that I eat that's meat has natural protein in it that the human body can absorb, because I know it doesn't gel with everybody, but we are natural meat eaters. That's why we have these teeth. And then there's other forms of protein that your body doesn't absorb very well, or it doesn't absorb as much of, because it needs other things to make it happen. So the thing that you absorb instantly and naturally is they're trying to replace with things that are processed and you don't absorb very well. So E5, E10. It's that simple. Yeah. So have a look if you've get chance or if you've got any problems and that lot, and then just ask yourself a question: why is all that stuff added to the food that you think you're eating? Because somebody's adding it for a reason. Now, a lot of these things, like the old story of the food companies, the old cigarette manufacturers who worked out how to make the things addictive, then bought the food companies and brought all the scientists with them to make the food addictive. Now, that's that's just marketing. That's not marketing. That's like production thing. You want more people to eat more of your things. I get that. It's it's just natural. You want more. You want to sell more of your things. But if you're making things addictive so you can sell more things, that's wrong to me. Because I know addiction's a funny thing, but you take the choice out of it. You make something addictive, and then people are going to want it more. But they're not naturally wanting it more. They're wanting it more because you did something to it to make people want it more. So that's not right in my book. If I like something, I want to like it because I like it, not because you make some concoction in it that makes me want to like it. Do you get me? It's just one of those weird things where you're trying to control what I eat by fucking about with the food. So there's lots of things, and eat however you want to eat, and eat whatever you want to eat. I think there's a good bit of reasoning behind most way people eat. Some people it's just financial. And like if we're struggling a bit in that, like I don't buy the most expensive meats, I buy the cheaper meats. But I stick to what I have because I believe that that's what's keeping me healthy. And obviously, it goes back to the same thing, doesn't it? Look, just go and have a look. I mean, some people will watch this and I'll know them and you'll know that I'm genuine. I just go and have a look. Have a look what you're eating. And all that stuff that's in the food that you're eating, have a look at it and look what it is. Google it. Stabilizers and emulsifiers and regulators and this and that and the other and other and other and other. And it's to make it last a month. But it's also full of sugars and stuff like that and hidden sugars. And there's about, God knows, there were 100 or 200 and odd different names for sugars because the food companies keep having to keep moving the goalpost a little bit so that they can keep these things in. And I get it. They're trying to sucker you into just having that thing, but it's not healthy for you and you're not running at your best because you're eating all this junk. So you don't have to eat like me. I don't. I ate this way because it healed a big problem I'd got. And if it had been any other way, if it had been, I don't know, a vegetarian, I'd be a vegetarian. And I'm not telling anybody not to eat vegetables. It's like with fruit and everything. You go to the supermarket and there's every kind of fruit from all over the world. It's not meant to be like that. Fruits were seasonal in the area that you lived. So when they were in season, you ate them then. People are going at the supermarket now, they're buying massive amounts of fruit that they were never meant to eat in first place because they'd never come from them places and they weren't seasonal at that time. And now we've got them growing all year round and everybody's just stuffing them. And sugar and the natural sugars in fruit, you're only supposed to have a tablespoonful of sugar in your blood at any one time. So your pancreas and your insulin is trying to deal with all the excess sugar you're putting in. But anyway, that's going down, and I'm trying to get to the toxic bit because it's the sugar thing. Unless you're diabetic, but I've said this before, is if I were diabetic, I would drop all the carbs and all the sugar to nothing and see what happened. Adjust it because people are on medication for it. So I would adjust the medication down while I'm dropping all the dietary sugars down and see what happened. And people reverse type 2 diabetes every week, but they have to do the thing. Now, if you just want to keep taking medicines forever, just keep taking medicines forever. This thing's not for you. I'm just saying, I think your health is important, and I think you should do everything you can to eat the best things and healthy things and keep off lifetime medications. You know, it's like people who cook with olive oil. Don't cook with olive oil. Once you heat it to a certain thing, there's a chain reaction and they become rancid, and it's, do the research. Listen, you shouldn't be heating olive oil past a certain thing. So you get people and they're like dripping olive oil in a pan and then heating that up and then cooking things and doing things in it. It's, you shouldn't be heating olive oil up. What, am I wrong? I don't know. You find out. But they're the kind of oils and fats that shouldn't be heated. Now you can, I cook in lard and butter again, and they can be heated. They've got a lot higher heat rating before they become rancid. But people don't realise they're cooking with olive oil and they're making the oil rancid. Now if you want to drizzle some olive oil on your salad, crack on. That sounds like a good idea. It's good for you. But hey, don't do what I say. Look it up. I'm a fucker for research. But I never do the research from the big voice. Because the big voice is the ones that want to keep you doing what you're already doing. So this loaf of bread here, this a month out of date and still alright with looks at it, loaf of bread here, is healthy as and that bowl of cereal that's full of sugar, I mean full of sugar, and has to be fortified with vitamins and minerals because the process of making it depletes it of everything, and then they try and add it back in, but it's not natural vitamins that they're adding back in. It's not the vitamins and the minerals that was in the thing originally before they started fucking about with it to make it your cereal. So that wipes all the natural stuff out, and then they add the synthetic vitamins back in. No, don't want to have all to do with that. And it's packed full of sugar. And you don't want to be packed full of sugar all the time. And I was bad with it. I just a cup of tea, 2 sugars, cereals, some sugar on. But at some point in your life, you have to wake up. Especially when you've got a why. There's always a reasonably big why. And when you get a big why, you have to really look at things. And I'm hoping everybody's feeling healthy and everybody's all right. But I'm just saying, before you get the big why, or even if you've got a why, go and look at things. Look at what you're having. Is it E5 or E10 fuel? Because your body needs fuel and food is fuel. So have a look at it. And if you look at the other videos I've done, and that's my way and my story, and this is my kind of thought process, so it doesn't matter. None of this is any kind of dietary advice or medical advice. I'm just saying go and have a look. Have a look at what you're eating. And then figure it out. I like the odd vegetables and stuff. I like the odd bit of toast. I'll have some sourdough and I'll toast it and I'll put some proper butter on it. You know, like, it sounds daft, but my mum, she won't eat proper butter, but she has the margarine that says can't believe it's not butter, or utterly butterly. So she eats the thing that tastes like butter but don't want to eat the butter. Now the thing that tastes like butter is full of crap. Absolute shite. But butter's alright. But she'd rather eat that. And I think it's because that spreads and butter doesn't. Well, butter does if you buy a butter dish and put it in the butter dish and leave it on the side. But the other thing that's spreadable, that utterly butterly, can't believe it's not butter, butterlicious, I don't know what they call these things. I ignore everything in supermarket now. I'm like a freaking drone. I just go meat, bit of veg, dog food out. And I'm even thinking about sorting dog food out, because I found out that they're putting sugar in dog food. Why would you put sugar in dog's food? Is he going to be bothered that it's got some sugar in? That dog would eat an house brick if you put a bit of sugar on it. So I don't know what the story is with the dog food, but it's got some sugar in it. And I'm thinking, why? It's dog food. Why are you sugaring it up? Why is there preservatives in it and emulsifiers and stabilizers, and why can't it? It's tinned. You know, I've got a tin of stewing steak in cupboard. There's a bit of crap in that as well. But I'm thinking it's dogs. So why is there sugar in dog food? Why is there all this crap? Just put some meat in a tin, seal it, and let them eat the meat. But now it's... See, this is what I'm saying, is they're fucking about with food to try and make you have more of it. So, and be honest, I mean, he's a staffy, he's just going to eat out anyway. I mean, out. If somebody dripped a bit of peanut butter on a stick, he'd eat that. It's just right. It's just how they are. So anyway, listen, I'm not going to get too far into stuff, but I would like people to just go and have a look at what you're eating and Google some stuff, especially E numbers and things like that, because a lot of them are known to be carcinogenic, and that's not good. So go and have a look at everything that you eat, and then just go, well, I could get a natural, just whatever the item is, I could just go and buy that. A lot of time it's convenience. And if it's convenient, crack on. But have a look anyway. Anyway, good health to you. I hope you're all well. I hope everything's going okay. And do it as soon as you can. Go and have a look. MrB, signing out.